You can only trade with a big capital. Big lie. You can only succeed in trading if you have a big capital. Another big lie. Listen, you don't need a lot of money to start trading and to start succeeding in trading. You just don't even need a large capital to be successful in trading. Yes, having a big capital, it contributes to your success at some point. Why? Because this is the reason. Every time you're trading with a bigger capital, you always give yourself more chances to recover your lost trades. Alright, but when you have a small capital, it can get blown fast, especially if your position sizing is not okay. That's a disadvantage of small capital. Another disadvantage of a small capital against a bigger capital is maybe your stop loss is going to be smaller because you don't have a lot of money to give the market space to play so that it goes to your direction. So you cannot hold a drawdown in a trade, in a moving trade. But listen to me. If you don't have a well-tested strategy, if you don't have the discipline and the consistency that is required in trading, even if you are given $1 million account, you will still blow it. Alright? You will still blow it. If you cannot manage a small capital, even a big capital is going to be difficult for you to trade with. It is as simple as that. Because all you need to have is a well-tested strategy. First of all, the first and the most essential thing is understanding price action from the basics. Basics, I mean support, resistance, trends, trend lines, how to identify a trending market, alright, how to interpret a market from support and resistance, alright, knowing that when you break structure to the downside from a support level, from a resistance level, and you get a retest, and then certain candlesticks starts to form, you know that when these types of candlesticks starts to form, it's a time for a reversal. These are the basics. When you know the basics, when you start to apply the basics and you backtest the basics and you know how to use your strategy from a top-down analysis level, that means that you can trade a small account and manage a small account. And when you have succeeded in managing a small account, you can now start to trade using a bigger account. Using a bigger capital. And that's how you test yourself first with a small account. Because if you cannot manage a small account, you cannot become a good trader. And that's what I believe. I believe that you have to test yourself with a small account. Because a small account makes really puts your discipline into test. This is why you are tested, because you are eager to make a lot of money from this small account. And that's where you make a lot of mistakes, because you want to put a lot of you want to try to make miracles happen for that small account to turn into something bigger. And that's where your discipline, your trading discipline is tested most. And that's where you realize that that's when you realize that you are becoming a very sharp person in trading, because you know how to avoid traps, you know how to ensure that your setups are mature enough, because you have patience. It really tests your patience. And when your patience is well tested and you only execute your trade when it is the right time to do it, that's when you go in, that's when you attack. And this is how a small capital helps you to grow as a trader. All right. So if you want to really test yourself with a demo account, test yourself with a small account. If you blow it, test yourself in another small account. That's why the lot size is there. That's why the lot size is adjustable. You can adjust your lot size to a very small, to a micro lot. All right, so that you test yourself, test your patience, test your discipline. All right, be there, analyze the markets, get setups. All right, when you have a small account, you are able to avoid when you have a small account, you are always unable to avoid setups that are not so good or are not so great, because you are lacking the patience. All right, you are being in a rush because you want things to happen, and that's where the mistakes happen in trading. And the moment you are able to counter that, and the moment you're going to the moment you get yourself in a position where you can encounter that, that's when you realize that now you're becoming a mature trader, someone who can depend on trading as a trading in the long term success. All right, so that's very important to note. So if you don't have a big capital, you have a very small capital, and you feel discouraged that you cannot trade with it because it's a small capital, this is my message for you. That small capital can change everything. It can change your life. It can change how you trade. It can change your view of trading. And if you can grow it, even if it's a $10 account or even a 5, it is very it is very possible that you can turn that account into a very big figure account. All you need is, if you're trading with a very small account, and a very small account I mean maybe account of 10 USD. There are some people who trade with a 10 USD account, and they trade with discipline. They take it to 100. All right, they go adjusting the lot size in accordance to how much the account is growing. So you start with a micro lot. When it gets to a certain level, you now trade with as long as you understand your risk management and you calculate your risk management, then you have very good discipline. All right, so that's all that is needed, guys. You don't even need a lot of money, because after all, you can be given a lot of money and blow it because you don't know how to manage it. So it is very essential. It's very essential that you have that discipline. All right, so I will see you in the next video, guys. Have a nice time.